This video is about an exercise called the sled push, and a lot of people use sleds and they push heavy weights on the sleds, and they can use it as a cardio exercise. You can use it for strength depending on how much weight you put on the sled itself. The way I'm going to show it is more of a PRI-minded, postural restoration-minded way of pushing the sled, because it's going to be more sensory. I'm not going to load up the weights really heavy. I'm going to keep it a lighter weight, but I'm going to sense my entire foot go through heel, arch, big toe, because unless you're going heel, arch, big toe, you really can't get all your leg muscles particularly involved, because heels give hamstrings, arches will give glutes, and big toes will give glutes. Quads will be obviously involved also, but you have to go through a full stepping cycle to be able to use really all the muscles through the whole step. If you're only pushing through the balls of the feet, that's not going to be optimal muscle recruitment, optimal muscle fiber recruitment. The sled push can be done in all sorts of different ways. The first way I'm going to show it is more of a sensory awareness technique. It's probably closer to a PRI technique, because I'm going very, very slowly and I'm breathing, I'm expanding my rib cage. I'm breathing in through my back to expand the back, not letting my rib cage come up in the front with each step. And I'm also sensing the compression of my foot through the ground, and then compression of the same side rib cage. So when my left foot is forward and on the ground, I'm sensing compression through this left side along with a stronger right hand. When I'm on the right foot, I feel the ground through my right foot, the compression through the right side, and a stronger left hand. So those are the things I'm sensing as I breathe in between each step, and I'll just show you what it looks like. All right, I shift my left hip back, my weight is on my left foot, I push through, and then my right foot. Same thing, I take a breath in, then I push again, and my feet are staying completely flat. I'm going heel, arch, big toe. Whichever foot has the weight, so if my left foot has the weight, my left rib cage is compressing. If my right foot has the weight, my right rib cage is compressing. That's normal human movement, and you will feel the opposite hand. Now, this is a more speeded up version. It's the same thing, and when it's a little bit faster, you can really feel the flow of the alternation. That's really what you're trying to feel. I'm not taking a breath in between each movement or each step. I'm just breathing normally. But as you do this, you're really feeling the entire, a lot of people might do it just with pushing through their toes or their forefeet, which you can, but because I want to make it more of a sensory experience and more closely resemble normal human movement, I want to go heel, arch, big toe on each step. And as you do that, what you're going to feel, or what you should feel, is this sense of flowing, of alternating cycles of compression from the ground through the foot, and then the same side rib cage. And then as you push through that foot, you basically just start to go to the opposite side. And you really want to feel that flow. And what you're going to be doing is having this alternating rib cage and arm movement, because your arms are in front of you as you're pushing. So there's always this alternation going on. This is not the way that you bench press. It's a lot different. It's not the way you squat. You're not getting this alternating movement. So in my mind, the sled push is a great PRI-minded activity, because it's alternating the legs, and it's alternating the position of the pelvis as you step, and it's alternating cycles of compression through the rib cage, and alternating scapulas, and thus arms, that are also alternating as you're breathing and moving forward, which is really what human movement is. Human movement is not most gym exercises. Another reason that this exercise is effective from a PRI perspective is because it provides for alternation of the pelvis. Every step you take, because you're not pushing with both legs at the same time, you're alternating them, the pelvis is going through alternating cycles of flexion and extension, which is needed for normal forward human movement, which was what a patterned individual, someone who's in the left AIC pattern or a PEC pattern, that's what they're not doing. They're stuck like this for a PEC, and they're all jammed up, and they're going to get inappropriate rotation. or they're stuck forward on one side and they just can't get through a full cycle. Now, if you are not yet neutral, and if you don't know what that is, my entire channel is about postural restoration and achieving neutrality. If you're not neutral, this exercise will not have the same effect because you can't get your pelvis to go through these full ranges of motion because you're in a pattern. Again, postural restoration is the entire science is about this. So I'm not addressing that in this video, but I'm just saying that this sled pull, or sled push, I'm sorry, will work better for muscle recruitment for people who are already neutral. Another reason it's effective is because it also provides for alternating cycles of rib cage compression. Whichever foot, so if my right foot is in front and it's going to start to push through, that right side will be compressed. And then when the left foot is in front and it's going to start to push through, the left side will be compressed. So it's alternating cycles of rib cage compression, which is what happens when we move forward. It's also going to allow for some spinal rotation through the transverse plane, which is also what is needed. People who are extended in this PEC pattern or bilateral brachial chain pattern, they don't have shoulder ranges of motion and their head and their neck are forward. Again, my whole channel is about this. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, my whole channel is about this. These people are stuck in extension, so there is no rotation going on. So if you're not yet neutral, meaning you can't expand your rib cage with air because you're stuck in extension, this sled push exercise may not be as beneficial.